Welcome to Marseille. Today you'll be operating this high-speed service to Avignon via Aix-en-Provence. Climb aboard and get started. Well, hello everybody, Not Yet Dead here. Welcome to the south of France. A very wet south of France. Not quite the weather we were expecting, really, but there you go. It does rain in France. It's not totally unreasonable. Press the service retention cancel button. Okay. Good. I'm glad that we're starting off with a... Ooh, ow, that's loud. I'm glad that we're starting off with a scenario because the setup of this is really complicated. And we even have to do a power handover at some point. And I have to say, I thought that the southeastern high speed was bad enough. This one's just really takes the biscuit. Okay, could also do with some windscreen wipers. Let's put the cab light on for a minute. I do remember some of this stuff. Just put a little bit of lighting down there. That's quite handy. A little bit of lighting down there, though. To be fair, I'm not sure we actually used that panel particularly. Windscreen wipers. Where were the windscreen wipers? Oh, is it not going to tell me? That's just mean. Set the reverser to forward. Set the driving mode to manual control. I'm hoping the brakes are all set up because it's a very complicated process to get the brakes sorted. As it's raining, you'll have blah 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 blah. As it's raining, reduce the capacity and the safety according to train. Have a good run. Fingers crossed. Is that it? Can we just go then? I haven't shut the doors yet. Do we need to shut the doors? Oh yeah, set the doors to locked. Okay. Cool. I did just see a button that said gauge lights. So let's have those on. It's pretty wet and miserable. That must be the dude telling me that we're good to go. Good go. Hold the train brake in release until the needle is at 5 bar. Yep, that bit I remember. All good. Apply some power to get going. Just a little bit. I think you can use either side, right? Yeah, okay. We've currently got headlights reduced. Let's put them to normal. And actually, if we just have the desk light on, we can probably forego the cab light. But we do still... Oh, yeah, that's it. I remember. So let's have a little bit more power. Not crazy, just a little bit. And then we can put... Oh, it's already on. That's it. Excellent. So yeah, we're in the is it the LGV or LGV Mediterranee? I'm sure I've got that pronunciation incredibly awfully wrong, so I apologise for that. But yeah, I took advantage of the double discount sale, and we've got this one and one other. So you know, it's kind of cool. I've been wanting to look at getting this one for a while, so I'm kind of happy, and it's kind of fun. But it is a bit complicated, so it's going to take me a little while to get used to some of the little foibles, the little things you have to figure out. Anything else that we need to be aware of? I need to figure out the safety systems because it does have them. But I have no idea how you switch them on. There was something here that you're supposed to do. Oh yeah, of course the auxiliary power, but that's fine. Is there there's probably one here somewhere for some form of alerter or similar, right? TVM. They have done a video about the safety systems on this train and its signalling systems. It's got quite an advanced in-train signalling system and all sorts. So I do need to have a watch of that. I don't know. Let's not worry about it this time around. I'll try and figure it out because it does always make it more fun. But it's quite cool. It's a bit damp. Now, I had a peculiarity when I was doing the training about the lights. Okay, so they're set to on, so that's fine. Do a bit of a kernel cam for a minute, just keep an eye on the speed, but we're okay. I was going to say that should be about to go up, that's fine. I've literally done the training so far, that's all I've done. So this is my sort of first proper journey. So we'll get to see some pretty cool scenery and countryside. Yep, no rear lights are on too. Fair enough. Fine. Reset the camera. Right, let's go. It's quite cool actually. It's quite cool. Lots of detail, trackside. Don't need that on, do we? Can get rid of that. Yeah, lots of detail trackside, lots of buildings. It really feels like, you know, France. Not from into the south of France, I must admit, but I can kind of, you know, I can kind of get it. Alright, there's a train wash. Right, really ramp it up now. So go via location, power change location. So this is where we have to basically change over from rail, the sort of local, if you like, power system. I can't remember which one's DC, which one's AC, but one or the other. And go over to the sort of high-speed power system. And hopefully we'll get guided on that. It should do, I'm sure, again, because it's scenarios, it's quite a lot of complex processes to operate in this train, which makes it interesting, if a little nerve-wracking. There's a slightly not overly powerful brake built into the power handle, but there is also a separate brake that you can set pressure and manage manually, sort of lapped almost. It's quite a nice brake system actually. I kind of like it. And it's quite effective, fortunately. It's a pretty cool looking train, right? It's pretty cool looking, let's face it. I do like this one. And again, it's just a bit different. We're in a different country, right? We're in France. This is awesome. It's not German, it's not British, it's not American, it's France, and it's quite fun. Let's pick a little bit so we don't keep putting these bridges. Oh, it knocks out anyway, but alright. Right, I've no idea what kind of time leeway we have in the journey. Oh, there's another one. The horns are the wrong way around, which is a bit weird. Because actually the spacebar is below and then is high, which is the opposite, and actually that's also reflected by the direction you move the handle in. It's actually kind of interesting. Alright, let's get inside. It's very wet out here. That's pretty cool. Oh, going a bit fast. Start the speed back a little bit. So I say this will do light braking, but if you really need to stop, you have to use the manual brake. The manual brake, you know what I mean, the separate brake. Right, what are we doing? 2.3 kilometers per hour. Power change location. It's very exciting. I do love the fact the red signals are sort of slightly more pinkish. Just got a sort of pinky purpley hue to them. It's quite interesting. Obviously they're slightly separate to the line signals, which is something different. But it does, you know, adds a bit of variety to your old colour set. Right, about to go into a very long tunnel. Very long tunnel. Interestingly, it's showing an uphill, but actually I'm sure this is a downhill. I could be wrong. That's not the long tunnel. That's why. Now we're going to go downhill and into a long tunnel, if I remember rightly. I'm sure the power change location is in a tunnel, right? Oh, anyway. So the power setter off, which I remember is the first thing you have to make sure. Right, so let's see. Okay, continue journey. The service code was to change to 25 kilovolts AC. So it is AC. Okay, so how do we do that? Tell me. Tell me. Remind me. Is it not going to tell me? Oh, that's just harsh. I think we have to lower the pantograph. Right? And then do we do the thing? Then we set the thing to AC, do we? I've got to say, and then you have to close the circuit breaker, and then you have to, I hope this is right, grief, I was kind of hoping it'd guide me how to do this. Then you have to open the circuit breaker, rearm the circuit breaker, and I think, nope, there's something we've not done. Okay, oh no, I haven't raised the pantograph again. Do that, right? Well, now do we rearm the circuit breaker? Armed, interesting. There we go, we have power. Excellent. Got there in the end. Good. So we can really ramp it up because we should be doing 300 kilometers an hour at this point. We've got to go via location, so we're not stopping at Aix-en-Provence, which is what we did during the training So this is good, because this means we should really get to try out the old speed. Now, in the scenario thingy, the training, this didn't work, and it still doesn't, but we can do this. So actually what we need to do then is, I think, switch over to, oh, it won't let me. So that's because we've got power on. Right, okay, so if I do that, now I should be able to go to selected speed, which means it'll start slowing us down. We put the power on, and then we can do this. There we go, 300 kilometers an hour. Now, does this work? No, you see, that doesn't actually seem to work. Which means, unless there's something I don't know about, yeah, that sort of doesn't seem to work very much, really. Oh, that reminds me, I was supposed to dip my lights when I went past that other train, but there you go. Oh, hang on, we're on normal. Okay, yeah, no, that really does have an impact. Yeah, we're on normal. Yeah, you're supposed to dip your headlights when you go past another train, right? Let's put up the power. So I'm slightly, I don't know what this flashing yellow thing does here. It looks cool, just I don't like flashing lights, they make me nervous. Interesting, so that is a clock. And there's a dot between the hour and the minutes, but nothing to separate the minutes and the seconds. Slightly unusual, that was all. Merely an observation. Yeah, but actually, sorry, bear with me a second. I think in the new operation shift, so I press L3 down and you get AFB, you get cruise speed, decrease and increase. Let's see if that works on this train. No. So I've now put the brakes on, so let's release the brakes, get that brake pressure back up to 5 bar. So I'm not sure, I'm slightly confused about that then, because actually that just doesn't work for me at all. See what I mean? It just doesn't. It doesn't distinguish between it being a long press and a jab, if you see what I mean. Unlike the camera one, which, well, it has to be said it's a little bit in and out, but you know, if I do that, I should now be able to raise the, yeah, now I've got control of the camera, so that's fine. And scroll through and blah, right? Oh, that was good. It didn't seem to work on the left one. I'd say I don't use it very often because I'm fortunate enough to have a keyboard and honestly not need it. But otherwise it doesn't seem that the speed control thing works. Unless I'm doing something wrong, which, yeah, you know, it's possible, see what I mean? Low horn, high horn, hello, thank you. Shame it's a wet, but it's pretty cool. Have I not got to slow down as we go through Aix-en-Provence? Really? I can blast through here at full tilt. Not that we're at full tilt yet, I suppose, because it's a separate line. Oh, yes, with the things. So there's actually a separate track in the middle with concrete borders. Oh, that's pretty cool. 67 kilometers to go. Wowzers. Well, we're on green signals. We need to keep an eye on that. We're nowhere near at top speed yet, by the by. Because it's 300. What is that? It's supposed to. Sure, it's supposed to go up to 320, but for some reason that's not the current line speed. Wow, now we're flying. Jeez, you can hear it. Look at the effect it's having on the rain. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, we can notch back a little bit. So we're only going to go up to 300 at this point. I don't know if that means that somewhere else it gets up to 320. Got a slight downhill, not a lot though, and actually it's just eased off a little bit. That's pretty fast, it's fair to say. So it is a bit pretty, it's a little bit grey and nasty outside. Oh, that's a pretty cool cutting, isn't it? Look at that. Right, so it's power handle off, and basically gravity alone is causing us to go too fast. So let's apply quite a bit of brake and then release it. And then actually, we can release it a little bit more. Let's release it fully, leveling off, and now we're going back uphill. It's very up and down, this route. It's quite amazing, actually. Oh, mind you, hang on, the blue thing means that I shouldn't, I can keep the power down and I shouldn't go over speed. It's only if we go downhill that I need to manage it. Thinking about it, I've just realised, of course, that's the whole point of that system, right? Anyway, so green all the way. I mean, it is the first scenario, so you'd kind of hope they keep it pretty. God, they were saying about it being a roller coaster. They weren't kidding. Look at the light reflections coming through the window in the cab. That's pretty cool. Going back down a little bit. Let's have a look out. Wow, that's pretty duty. I like this. But you'd have to wake up pretty early in the morning to catch it, wouldn't you, and get a good picture. That's pretty cool. So we've done 8 kilometres. This is pretty good now. We're supposed to be there in... What? No. Okay, I think we're running a bit late. We're never going to do 58 kilometres in 14 minutes, are we? Mind you, actually, in theory, we should be able to, providing we can keep up at speed. This is some run. I mean, look, let's face it, in terms of stuff to do, a long, high-speed run is not exactly what you'd call exciting, but it's pretty exhilarating. No question of that. And admittedly, on a drier day, it'd probably feel better too. Right, so we'll ease off because we are going downhill. Now, I wonder if this brake is enough to counteract the force of gravity at these kinds of speeds. And the answer is no. That is, yeah, it's a pretty handy brake, that. Pretty handy. Yeah, it's going to run if you go downhill. Crikey, what we're doing, 297. Location Avignon 90930. I mean, crikey, these are commuting speeds to be doing ridiculous distances. Or commuting times, rather, to be doing ridiculous distances. Oh, look, 3.5 kilometres and we can ramp up to 320. And that's dropping pretty fast, too. Oh, this is very cool. We do need a point to get some decent snaps, actually. Oh, a little bit of brake. A little bit more brake. There we go. Probably just a question of finding the right braking pressure for the gradient that you're on. Right, we're now going back uphill, so let's take that off completely. Apply a bit of power. So yeah, trying to balance your speed is a challenge. It is very uppy downy. Wowzers. Why is it beeping at me? Oh, because we can now do 320. Oh, cool. All right. So can I now go? Can I increase it? Will it let me? Oh, it just doesn't seem to work. Okay, I've got a keyboard. Let's bodge it. Go. Even for the PS5, this has got to be pushing it, right? Surely. Out the way the cable's a bit. Oh, that's weird. Let's not do that. Oh, in a tunnel. Cool. And still getting faster. Right, not back up to 300 yet. Now we are going downhill, so I'm going to have to watch that. Oh, we're about to go uphill, so that's fine. That's about to wash off. Nice. Wow. I mean, the gradients are crazy. This is something else. I can see why they did this route. It's pretty impressive. Okay, he's off. Downhill. I'm just going to apply a little bit of brake pressure and see what happens. Is that enough? No. Slightly unnerving every now and again, it sort of judders. Okay, leveling out. Let's take that off. Doesn't take too much to get it going, actually. Goes a little bit downhill again. Okay, that's still too much braking force. Grief, we're already down to 36k. Jeez. Okay, this is seriously fast. It's crazy. Cool, aren't they? I'm curious. No, wrong one. Sorry. Can we keep up? No. Even with the shift button down, we actually cannot catch the train. We're not going anywhere. Sorry, that's a bit low, isn't it? No, there's just no chance. So yeah, static camera is going to be a bit problem. That's funny. Oh, look at that. It's amazing. It's so pretty. Slightly autumny, colours in the trees, but I suppose it is raining, so fair play. It's a bit misty today. Oh, sorry to hit my headlights. Didn't even have time to think about picking the horn. Wow, I mean, this is nuts. How long did I say we've got? 15 minutes, and we were at about 57. So actually, we've still got to hammer it some, actually. I mean, 8 minutes to do 33 kilometres at 330 kilometres an hour. Yeah, plenty of time. About 320. Ooh, nice bit of water. Lovely. So it's tight, but doable, right? But if we've got to keep up to speed as far as we can, best we can do. And you know what? First run, I'm not gonna feel too bad if it turns out that we don't quite make it on time. It's not that big a deal. Okay, now we're at 320 and we've got a gradient, so let's put a bit of brake. Release it a little bit. Hopefully try and level off again. So let's release the brakes completely. Try a little bit of power to get us back up. So there is a lot to think about. I'm really focusing on the speed. And you don't really have time to watch anything because it's just going too fast. This is pretty cool. Again, we're at a little bit slight downhill slope, so I'm just going to release. I'm going to wash a little bit of speed off. Leveling out. So let's have a little bit of power. Right, going uphill. Okay, still on greens, 22 kilometres to go. Those kilometres are shooting down. It's just crazy. I think, like the Southeastern High Speed, it actually has a sort of graded stop. So it brings you down gradually in terms of speed as you approach. I mean, we won't even need to think about that until we're a few kilometres out. So that shouldn't be a problem. And this is pretty nifty. Well, I hope you're enjoying this. I really fancy getting it. It was in a pretty decent price. Unfortunately, the other one I was thinking of getting, I missed the sale. I was a bit late, but that's fine because that wasn't as good a price as this one. So we get that another time. No issues. I am not short of routes to play in any way, shape or form, including all the ones that I have to replay because I couldn't bring my progress across. But to be honest, I'm quite enjoying that. I think I've got through most of the introductions by now, so at least they're all at a state where I can just drop in and play a game. I'm umming and ahhing about doing a stream when I get time of I might have mentioned this before, so apologies if I have, but yeah, of some of the shorter service mode things. So, and they're little things like it's just a couple of stations stopping, or it's getting coaches to or from the yard at the beginning or the end of the day, this kind of stuff, right? I just thought it would be quite fun, rather than doing a stream specifically to focus on a longer journey, actually just do a stream just made up of different routes, different services, just dotting about, really. Which would be kind of fun. So I might do that at some point. And there are a few on here. Obviously, this is the only train, right? So it's literally only getting stuff in and out of depot, right? That's beeped at me because we're dropping down to 300 in 3 kilometres. Okay, fair enough. That says we're going uphill. It doesn't feel like we're going uphill. Now we're going uphill. Okay, it's basically saying you need to be slowing down. So let's, too far. Let's do that. Let's do that. A little bit of brake, a lot of brake. Nicely done. Release the brake. So that's it, we're now at 300, that's okay. Well, we're actually at 290, but only 9 kilometres to go. Crikey, this is a quick route. I'm looking forward to spending more time on the route because, as I say, it's so fast. And actually today it's a bit cloudy, it's a bit grey, you know. Right, so next one is 270. So again, that's fine. We'll just apply a little bit of brake. This isn't a compulsory change of speed. This is a recommended change of speed to bring you start gradually decreasing your travelling speed. So we'll just see how this goes. At some point, it'll actually bring it up as a speed change. So actually a little bit more. And again, we'll just reduce the speed accordingly. Though to be honest, at this point, it doesn't matter. There's no power going, so it's all brakes. Controlling the brakes now to bring it gradually down. Brake pressure at 4.4, brake cylinder at 0.1. Okay, now suddenly it is an issue, which is slightly weird, but all right. I think that was just warning us that you're not at this one and you've got your next one. I think it's not like you're going over the speed limit, but more of a you've had that warning and now you need the next warning. And you're still going over the one that I told you about last time. It's not going to like that. Right, okay, and again. So, but this is the 170, which the speed limit actually. Oh, hey, what? How did I do? What did I do? Hey, what? Pressed the wrong button. Sorry. Ooh, we're now in a tunnel. So 1.1 kilometres. Okay, I think we need to start braking a little bit more. Because actually we've only got a kilometre and a half to go. And although it's saying line speed is 170 500, that gives us less than a kilometre to then slow down. But I mean, we are under the, you know, the official, well under the official guided speed. I'm just going to release the brakes a little bit so we don't slow down too much. So actually, suddenly 500. Little bit slip, ease it off just a little bit more, a little bit more. And actually, slightly worried about that red signal, but I think we're going to be all right. Pop a little bit of brake slip. Okay, we've missed the stopping point, but not by much, actually. Okay, so note to self, that comes up really fast. But I think that was okay. We are well in time. And we were only, I don't know what, I didn't even notice in the end. What was it, 10 yards or so? 20 yards, perhaps? Actually, 20 metres, because we're in France, it's in metres. And rightly so, no complaints from me. Wow. This is a pretty fancy station, isn't it? Can we get in any of this? It's pretty cool. Avignon. Très grande vitesse. 45 seconds to wait. Sorry, that's terrible. I wish I could go upstairs. I'd forgotten it had an upstairs. Obviously, it's a duplex. Duh. Going to Marseille Saint-Charles. Cool. Arrivé. Voie must be platform, right? Voie 4. Guessing. That was fun. So much fun. It's very stripy, their seats, aren't they? Got to think about collectibles. I forgot already what they were. Alright, let's go back in. Blockade the doors. Is it closing? Yeah, there we go. Good work. That's all for this journey. Nice. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, a bit of challenge stopping given the wetness. Crikey, it's taken a while to figure out how well I did. I did awesome. It's so amazed at how well I did. 24.1 meters. It's not too bad, actually, considering, you know, I can kind of go with that. Got gold, 9,164 points. Thank you very much. Level 5 on here, level 4 on the train. I'm not sure how that happened. Anyway, that's a bit weird. And level 20 overall. Still a long way to go to get me back up to level 60, where I was on the PS4 version. But never mind. That was really good fun. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll definitely be doing some more on here. Hopefully in slightly better weather. But if you did, likes and subscriptions are very much appreciated. And I'll see you on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves. And bye for now.